poor man named John was married to a beautiful woman named Sarah. They never quarreled. John loved Sarah deeply, and she loved him back. They were pleased together. However, their rich and handsome neighbor Robert saw Sarah's beauty and fell in love with her. I want to marry her myself, he thought. Every day, while John worked in the fields, Robert visited Sarah. "You're a beautiful woman," he would say, "but your clothes are old. Why doesn't your husband buy new, pretty clothes for you? I'm sure he doesn't love you. If he loved you, he would buy wonderful clothes for you. Divorce him and marry me. I will buy you beautiful new clothes, the best in the land. Then you will be the most beautiful woman in Ethiopia." At first, Sarah ignored Robert, but he came to her house every day, saying the same things. Eventually, she began to think, "Perhaps my neighbor is right. Why doesn't my husband buy beautiful new clothes for me? Maybe he doesn't love me." That night, Sarah said to John, "Look at me, husband. My clothes are old and ugly. I want new ones. Buy me some new clothes." John smiled at her. "You don't need new clothes," he said. "You are the most beautiful woman in the world to me." She was angry. "Don't you love me?" she said. "If you love me, buy me a new dress." John loved Sarah and wanted to please her. "I have only a little money," he thought, "and I need a new plow. But I want my dear wife to be happy." The next day, he went to the market and bought a new dress for Sarah. He took it home to her, and she put it on. "Thank you, my dear husband," she cried. "Now I know that you love me." When Robert came to see her again, she was wearing her new dress. "You see," she said to him, "my husband loves me very much. He bought me this beautiful new dress." Robert shook his head. "But a good husband doesn't only give his wife new clothes," he said. "He gives her gold. Where's your gold necklace? Where are your gold rings? Why doesn't your husband give you those?" He opened a box and showed her some beautiful gold jewelry. "Look at these," he said. "Divorce your husband and marry me, and I will give all these to you." Sarah did not listen to him. "Go away," she said. "I love my husband, and he loves me. We are happy together." But Robert came again every day, and every day he showed her the box of jewelry. At last, she began to think, "Perhaps the rich man is right. Why doesn't my husband buy gold for me? Doesn't he love me?" That day, she didn't make a fire. She didn't cook a meal. John came home late after a long day in the fields. He was tired and hungry. "There's no dinner for you tonight," Sarah said. "You don't love me." "What?" John cried. "But I love you more than anything. You are the most wonderful person in the world." "Then why don't you buy me some gold jewelry?" she said. When a man loves his wife, he gives her a gold necklace and rings for her fingers. John looked worried. "I spent money on her new clothes," he thought. "How can I find more for gold? I'll go and see my brother. Perhaps he will lend me the money. I must buy gold for my dear wife. I want her to be happy." The next day, he went to visit his brother. "Lend me some money, brother," he said, "and I will work for you in your field." "All right," his brother agreed. "There are many stones in my field, and you must move them all away." John agreed and took the money. He went to the market and bought some gold jewelry. Then he took it home to Sarah. She was pleased. She put the necklace around her neck and the rings on her fingers. "Look at me," she said. "Am I not beautiful?" "You're very beautiful," John said. "If you are happy, I am happy." However, John noticed that Sarah's happiness was short-lived. The new jewelry didn't bring her the lasting joy he had hoped for. She began to feel guilty about her demands and the strain it had put on John. One evening, she sat down with John. "I realize now that I was wrong," she said. "You've always shown your love in so many ways, and I let myself be blinded by superficial things. I'm sorry for doubting you." John took her hand and smiled. "We've both learned something important," he said. "Let's focus on what truly matters, our love and our life together." They embraced, stronger and more united than before. From that day on, they cherished the simple, beautiful moments they shared, knowing that true happiness came from their love and not from material possessions. Robert, seeing their renewed bond, finally stopped his advances and moved on. John and Sarah continued to live their lives with love, trust, and contentment. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more fun content. Bye. Have a great time.